Hey! Hi! Welcome to the Up Supercast, the only podcast on the internet where I'm doing like a little bit of a different thing with the intro this week. I'm Will, and joining me, Brandon.
I'm gonna do something funny too, and it's gonna be something that's different, and it's gonna be me not saying anything funny.
And Ills.
This is shockingly different, and I think you're a clone.
That's it. I can't quite replicate the original Will's tone and intonation, but I'm the best we got.
I like the old Will better. Bring him back.
I expect it. It's like old Coke and new Coke. It's gonna happen.
Are you the best we have?
Well, we'll see. I mean, there's only 3 of us this week, so we're dealing with lower numbers than even usual.
We got the 3 best there are.
Well, I'm gonna leave that you to say that, so I don't get in trouble. But how are you doing this week?
I'm just trying to stir the pot. That's how I'm doing this week.
Stirring the pot.
The straw that stirs the drink.
Oh. Make sure there's no. Anyways, how are you doing this week?
Good. I just told you. I'm trying to.
You're stirring the pot. That was what you're doing. That is the week of Brandon.
That is how I'm doing.
All right.
Feeling like I want to start a fight, but I don't want to start a fight with you guys because you guys are great. I want to start a fight with the people who aren't here.
Saf or Moose or Noah. He's still up there.
All 3 of them.
Wow.
All 3 of them.
Re-rank's coming up, so there's no better time to do it.
Yeah. I'm throwing my hat in the ring. Let's go.
Besides that, of course, we got really 2 big news headlines. 1 news headline to get through the week. So let's just get to it.
Wow, what a busy week.
I know. So this is, get ready for a little bit of a journey. Blowing up in the last week or so has been the issue of the JoyCon Drift. Has this hit either of you guys in your time owning the Nintendo Switch?
No.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So we have 1 yes, 1 no. But it has been a continual problem, sort of from launch. I've heard different people talk about having this issue, that basically, with time and use, the left stick on the Joy-Con will start to drift to the left. And so with that, obviously, it can be very difficult to play a video game when your character just randomly wanders to the left when you're not asking him to. And so this has been a thing, but it started to blow up this week because Kotaku did a report about the JoyCon Drift. A bunch of people said, oh, wait, that wasn't just me, and made a bunch of stink about it. But what really got it going is that I'm going to please prepare as I go through a syllable obstacle course of the Chemical Schwartz, Kreiner, and Donaldson Smith LLP law firm filed a class action lawsuit about this. But now, before you get too excited, know that a lot of class action lawsuits never go to completion. If they do, they take literally years. The most recent example I can think of is in 2016, PlayStation had to refund certain people that bought PS3s because they didn't have backwards compatibility as they were advertised. But that trial started 5 years before in 2011. So if this goes anywhere, it'll be a long time. But it's interesting because it has gotten, for the first time in, like I said, 2.5 years, an official response from Nintendo, which is, we value making high quality products, and we aim to do that with the Joy-Con, blah, 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 a lot of nothing. But then internally, they've now changed it to where if you call in and complain about JoyCon Drift, you can send it in. They will not ask questions, and they won't charge you, which they would do before. And if you have already been charged, you'll be given a refund if you call and confirm with them. And that can be anywhere from $30 to $40 for most people, depending on where you're shipping from. But this is interesting because I would say it's the first console like defect that like has like popped up this generation in like a pretty big way, right? Mm-hmm. In the past, like we had the Red Ring of Death, right? We've had these things that are a big deal, but this is sort of the first one I would say after the full advent of social media, which I think completely changes how companies have to approach stuff like this, right?
Because everybody has a way to complain.
Yes, and to make it suddenly, it's not just like, oh, am I by myself? It's no, oh, everyone has this problem, so I feel more justified in being angry.
It's also easier to see other people complaining.
Yeah. I mean, this is something you can complain about, right? If your controller doesn't work because of a defect, you can complain about it.
I mean, with Xbox 360, with Red Ring of Death, I mean, it was It was still in the days of social media. Just, I guess it wasn't as
2008 versus 2018 is a very different thing, right? Though,
19.
cancel culture.
well, I don't know if it's hard. It's harder to cancel a piece of video game software.
Wait,
and
is
hardware.
Nintendo canceled now?
Don't put it past them.
But it's interesting though, because like I mean, the Red Ring is like a much bigger deal than this is, right? But I think it's so interesting that the Red Ring, like the 360 ended up still winning that generation, right? And there was just an understanding that like, hey, there's a 1 in 5 chance basically that like this console you may have to send back at some point. And so I think that that's super interesting now versus then, just that difference.
Yeah. And it was super widespread. I mean, like, I knew like 3 or 4 people who had it happen. I don't know that many people, so fuck.
Yeah.
Happened to me. It happened to me once.
Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of times that companies will do essentially what Nintendo's doing now to try to avoid the class action lawsuit, right? By saying if we're offering refunds, we're fixing this for free. Some semi-infamous examples of this, of trying to get ahead of the curve with this type of stuff, is the big old condoms that started showing up on the Wii remotes, the big plastic like covers.
Oh, right.
They did that because people were threatening about suing because they were breaking things with their Wii remotes. The Mario Party glove, famously, that you could call and ask for.
What a good one.
And so that's sort of, I think, where this story will probably end up. The problem, like, the reason that PlayStation had to do the refund is because there was no way at that point they could have patched into backwards compatibility, you know? You couldn't, like, send it in and get backwards compatibility put in your console. Now we can, which is pretty crazy. But I think it's interesting, like I said, that we haven't had this generation, and that the difference in how we're approaching it now versus then.
Yeah, I'm glad Nintendo's doing this. You know, it seems like they're doing the right thing here. Especially with the refund part of it. And I don't know if I'm gonna send mine in because I'm just lazy as fuck, but I'm glad, you know. Yeah.
The weirdest thing to me is that, like, seemingly we don't know if there is a cutoff point on where it's been fixed over the last, like, because there's been multiple issues of Joy-Cons, different colors, all these other things, right? And we know that the launch Joy-Con have problems, but, like, it's weird sporadically. Like, I don't think the pink and green ones get it as much as, like, the ARMS yellow ones do. So that's really weird and interesting to me.
Yeah.
And so...
Yeah, I mean, I really hope they fix this problem because the Switch Lite is coming out soon. And if one of those gets broken...
About to say. Yeah, I had that
the whole fucking thing.
Console, yeah. Well, I think it'll be less spread on that thing.
Yeah, I hope so.
Because I mean, a lot of the thing is that the Joy-Con, like, when they're connected to your console, like, they're charging, but, like, they're still, like, it's not like it's same as having just, it's part of the internals of the system, right? And the Joy-Con are, like, these weird sort of Frankenstein's monsters of a lot of different things shoved into these small cases, and that's where, in some ways, like, they're impressive pieces of technology, but they're also clearly, like, straining themselves sometimes, you know? I know that, like, if I hold the Joy-Con, my right Joy-Con in my hand in a certain way, because it's harder to get signal through, like, flesh than it is through anything else, I used to drop connection a lot. But there was, like, a patch that fixed that made the connection stronger when I connected my Joy-Con to the system to update the controllers, which I thought was really interesting.
Nice.
So, hopefully, like I said, this will get fixed, like you said, down the line.
It's good to know that you're covered now if it does happen to you too, because I consider myself lucky it hasn't happened to me yet. But I think the main reason why it hasn't happened to me yet is because a lot of times I play docked, and I find myself using a Pro controller most of the time, so they haven't got as much use. And I'm gonna probably chalk it up to use.
Yeah.
Probably, the more you use it, the more it's
more wear and tear.
Yeah, probably. Plus, I mean, I play kind of like a madman, so, you know.
Yeah, you play all the time. You play usually, like, exclusively in handheld.
That and, like, I slam my controllers, so.
Yeah.
So, like, most of the people I talk to that it's happened to them, do play in handheld a lot.
Yeah.
Or at least use the Joy-Cons a lot. And for me, I almost barely use mine. So I think that's probably why it hasn't. But also at the same time, once in a while I do. So it's not like I never use them. So it's good to know,
if it does hit you.
If it does happen. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, going forward, like I said, don't on the class action side of things, that's going to be slow moving, literally years down the line. But the thing that I think for most people matters is being done, which is hopefully it's being fixed. And if you want to send it in, it's now you don't have to pay half the cost of a Joy-Con for it, which is good. But that is, so we'll see where that goes down the line. See you in 2024. But you know what? We are living in the year 2019. We are now over halfway through it. It's flown by. And so I want to take a little bit of a moment. We got the June NPDs. We got they always come 3 weeks after the month ends. And so I wanted to just sort of look back on the first half of the year that was 2019 in video games, excuse me. And we're going to do this as a little bit, not like a formal game, we're not counting points, but I have in front of me, let's do first, the Open Critic review scores for games that came out in 2019. Can you guess what are the top 5 best reviewed video games in no particular order?
I got one.
I got one too.
Sure
okay.
That I noticed. I'm gonna say Resident Evil 2 is one of them.
That is number 1. You've nailed it. 92.
Okay.
Really? That's number 1? Holy shit! I thought Red Dead Redemption 2 was definitely number 1.
That was last year,
buddy.
That was last year?
That was October.
Yeah, that was like October last year.
Fuck off! Jesus Christ! All right, Kingdom Hearts 3. Fuck you.
Kingdom Hearts 3 is not, and it is number 9.
Oh, fuck.
There's a lot of games tied for number 9 with 86 on Metacritic. Open Critic, excuse me.
Okay, now I got the one that I got I got probably my favorite game so far this year out of the way.
Sure.
Now I gotta
I'll tell you another the top 5. Oh, sorry.
Only June, right? Up to June.
Up to June, yeah.
Okay. Let me guess another one.
I'll take this back. No, there is a July release in here.
There is a July release.
Oh, yes.
In
there.
Yep. Okay. All right. Is it like an early July release?
It is an early July release. It is the second game, but it is an expansion that got reviewed separately.
Monster Hunter?
No.
That come out yet?
It's not. That is also coming in October, the cursed month, I think.
Fuck you.
I don't.
Muzamil's currently playing this game.
Oh, Final Fantasy 14 expansion. Okay.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 14 Shadowbringers is tied with Resident Evil 2. It's like 92.4 versus 92.25.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fucking nerds.
Is Mario Maker 2?
Mario Maker 2 is number 6. It is very close to number 5. This
man,
number
what
3
other games reviewed real good.
Number 3 is a developer. Sekiro. You got it. Sekiro. The highest reviewed Activision game this generation. Fun fact. So that's pretty neat. And then number 4 is a game.
Wait, what is?
Huh?
What is the highest reviewed Activision?
Sekiro.
That's Activision?
Yeah, they published it. From Software developed, published by Activision. It's the first time they've ever worked together.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's weird.
And the number 4 is an indie game. It was in early access last year. If you can take your brain back, I recommended it on the Steam summer sale thing we did a couple weeks back.
No.
All right, fair enough.
I tune you out all the time.
Fair point. Understandable. Slay the Spire is 89, which is pretty crazy for a game like that.
Okay.
Yeah. January 23rd, so super early in the year.
All right. So what about Bloodstained?
Bloodstained is 86.
Not in the top 10.
No, it is number 13, I think. Number 5 is another Capcom game.
Is it Devil May Cry?
Devil May Cry 5. There you go.
God,
Big.
I don't even know what the fuck came out this year.
Good year for Capcom.
Yeah, wow.
And then filling out the top 10, we have Mario Maker 2, Fire Emblem 3 Houses, Nowhere Prophet, which I've never heard of.
Fire Emblem 3 Houses already on top 10?
It's 87 on Open.
Oh,
Not
okay.
even out yet.
Okay, well, the reviewers already played it. They got it a month before. Then number 9 is Outer Wilds, not Outer Worlds. They're very confused. And then number 10, Apex Legends. So there you go.
Weird. Weird year so far.
Weird year so far. Also a weird year.
Very stacked in the second half.
Yeah. And then speaking of that, as always happens, we have sales figures, like I said, from the MPD for the year. Before we get to the all of the year, can you guess what was number 1 in June? Should not be hard.
Mario Maker?
Mario Maker.
It's Mario Maker 2. Can you guess number 2? Is the other new release on here?
Oh, Marvel Ultimate Alliance?
No, that was July.
Whatever. Whatever.
This is
game that came out in June. Is it a Switch game?
It's on all the platforms.
Is it Crash Team Racing?
It is Crash Team Racing. It is Crash Team Racing. Bloodstained didn't get. It got a physical release, but it didn't make it on here. Mostly because they don't report digital sales for any Nintendo games. Always remember that. So Mario Maker did it number 1 without digital.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
But year to date, can you guess? Spoilers. Only one of the games in the top 5 were on the best reviewed.
You were on the best selling?
We're on the best selling. Only one of the top 5 was also on the best reviewed.
Is it Resident Evil 2 again?
It is. Number 5, Resident Evil 2 2019.
Wow, best reviewed game. Couldn't even make it in the top 5 best selling. Just goes to show you don't have to make the best game to get the best sales.
That's true. Number 1, I will give a hint, is a M-rated franchise, hard M.
Mortal Kombat 11.
Mortal Kombat 11. There you go. Number 2, extremely not, because the people that this company partners with would be very mad. A long-awaited sequel.
Kingdom Hearts 3.
There you go. Number 3, I don't even know how to hint at this one. Ubisoft makes it. It's a sequel to a game that started this generation, to a series. It is a Schluter.
This year? Is it Far Cry something?
It is not. New Dawn.
Fuck.
Is
Assassin's Creed.
It is set in Washington D.C.
Oh, The Division.
The Division 2.
Division.
Yeah.
Division 2. That came out this year?
That came out this year, dog.
Well, I thought it came out last year, man. See, I don't play those games.
Yeah.
When did that come out? Like January or something?
It came out, I think, in March, if I remember right. And then number 4 is a game that got a very low Metacritic. The post-launch report has been mostly canceled for it, and it is an EA game.
Shocking.
By a formerly beloved developer. They've been on a bit of a mystery.
No, that's wrong.
they've been struggling. It was also supposed to be a looter shooter, a schluter, however you want to say that.
Oh, fucking Anthem.
Yes.
Oh, that shit. I forgot about that garbage.
Yeah.
Just put it in the back of my mind. Yeah, it's like you forget it existed. Okay. Anthem,
Yeah.
Man, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, I can't believe. You know what surprised me a little bit?
What's that?
New Super Mario Brothers U
Mhm.
was not on there. Deluxe.
New Super Mario Brothers
Surprised.
You always have to remember that any game that is not multi-platform it takes a lot to make it to the top 10.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true. That's true.
Because all these games were on everything, excluding Switch for all of them, except for Mortal Kombat. Shout out. But speaking of, though, number 6, Smash Brothers Ultimate. That game it can't stop selling.
Good.
And then reeling out the rest of it. 7 is Days Gone.
What?
8 is Red Dead Redemption 2. So people are still buying it in 2019. Ills.
See?
9, MLB 19 The Show, and then number 10, Call of Duty Black Ops III, aka Black Ops 4.
Oh, God.
What? Oh,
My head
God.
is spinning right now.
Yeah,
Wait, no. They didn't put 4 eyes.
they did.
You're
If you
lying.
put
they
it
did.
officially, it's III.
What the fuck?
It's,
Do they not know how Roman numerals work?
no, they just wanted to put an extra line on it.
I don't get it. Like, either use the number or use the actual Roman numeral. That just bothers me a lot.
Yeah,
Why? Why do I need to know this? Now this hurt my brain. Take it back.
I apologize. But I do have to say, there's an interesting fact that was also shared. 3 games, if you look at player bases, have been played by over 30% of all console gamers in the last 6 months. So 1 in 3 people have played all of these games.
Fortnite.
Well, I'm
Fortnite?
not one of those.
Fortnite is 1. You're correct.
I'm
Smash
gonna-
Brothers.
No. Apex Legends.
No, these two are both years old, but they're just constants.
Fucking what?
They're one of them is recently became the best-selling video game of all time, potentially.
Oh, Minecraft.
Yeah, and the other one is the best-selling console game of all time.
Tetris.
No. You got
99.
they have online is the thing that helps sell this last game a lot now. They do a lot of updates for it.
I don't know.
Wow.
Is it Final Fantasy?
Good guess. It is Grand Theft Auto 5.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's just
the fucking truck that will never slow down.
No, if you look in, by the way, 4 and 5 for the month of June is Grand Theft Auto and Minecraft. It's just you can't stop them.
Yes.
Yeah. So that is the thing. Just some of these games you look, especially in the summer months, if you look, just so many like evergreen games are just there. Like Breath of the Wild, it's still there. Super Mario Party, still in the top 20. We don't know. Brandon, last year I thought it was funny. You said you made a early in the podcast prediction that the Switch would win the month every month for the year of 2018 on NPDs.
Yes.
That did not happen.
Call me a madman.
It's like in like April that ended up not being the case. This year though, it would be true so far. Every month has been the Switch.
I meant to say 2019, by the way.
Of course.
It was a slip of the tongue back then.
Sure.
Overall, just a few other little details. We said early in the year, you're going to see numbers go down from last year. That was true. Hardware is down 33% from where it was last year. That is PS4 and Xbox One because the Switch is having the best 6 months of any console this generation so far. So,
hell yeah.
And then PC and software, it's the same. It's selling about the same as it did before, which means that people are buying games. They're just not buying consoles because they already own them already.
Well, the most people probably own them. They're also the people who don't. If I've talked to people that are like this, are hesitant because they know a new console generation is looming on the horizon.
That is
like maybe I'll hold back because I had somebody like talking to the other day. He's like he has a PS4 and he's like I'm thinking about buying an Xbox One, but I don't really know what the point is. If I might as well just wait for the next Xbox. I'm like,
yeah,
that's a good point.
Yeah, and that's why companies are really slow to announce new consoles or new like updates to consoles because the idea is you cut off the legs because people know I should just wait, right?
Yeah, you want to have a quick turnaround on this console coming out in like 6 months.
Yeah, that's why like Switch Lite gets announced 3 months before it's out, stuff like that.
Yeah.
One thing also,
and also that's not a new console.
Yeah.
Sega tried to be like, there's a new console coming out right now one time, and that didn't work out very well.
Maybe a little too overzealous with that. But it's also one little thing I want to give a shout out to. Marvel's Spider-Man, the PS4 one, now it passed Arkham City to be the best-selling superhero game of all time.
Wow.
Yeah,
Arkham City was,
and it's a console exclusive game.
It's the best-selling Sony exclusive of all time. I think was what they announced. That's so pretty crazy.
Wow, great! That is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, the best-selling PS4 game?
Yes, so the console
Sony exclusive,
PS4 exclusive is the best-selling one. Yeah,
I was gonna say
no. If it,
okay.
I don't think it passed like the heights of Gran Turismo. I think, but. It's fine. That's such a weird franchise, by the way. Gran Turismo used to be like the A tier, like best-selling, like first-party game for Sony, and then just like the last 2 generations, it's just taken off basically.
It blows my mind that it ever was.
Yeah, same.
No offense if you like Gran Turismo, but what the fuck?
Major offense if you like Gran Turismo. Get the fuck out of here.
That is one of my favorite stories, though. It's just the pitch of I want to drive my car in a video game, and they're like, okay, yeah, here's money, make a game. That was his whole pitch. The guy, I forget his name, the guy who's the head of it, Gran Turismo. But that is the midway through, right? That's what the wider market of people are caring about. And I think it's fun to always look at that because, sometimes we can get into our own little bubbles and know what we like, but you can forget what other people like.
It's like my goal in life. It's forgetting everybody else.
You forget that there's people out there that don't own Grand Theft Auto 5 still.
Yes.
And apparently they just
keep buying them. Also, one other thing before I do forget, franchise record, Kingdom Hearts 3 is the best-selling Kingdom Hearts game of all time. And,
Fucking garbage game.
well,
Okay, wow. All right, mister.
well, there is a reason for that. Could you possibly guess?
Because I'm playing it right now. And
Well,
it's
no,
on
not the reason that
Xbox.
it's garbage in your opinion. The reason why it's
It's
so
also on Xbox.
because it's on more consoles. That is the correct answer. Multi-platform, it's a big deal.
it's also garbage.
Should have been doing that from the first place. Come on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Xbox didn't exist when the first one came out.
The reason, I mean, the fact that it's on Xbox is probably why there's no fucking Final Fantasy characters in it.
Oh, no, because Final Fantasy has been on Xbox too. Come on now.
Fucking Xbox.
But yeah. So that is sort of the thing. We won't do the MPDs every month, but I figure we're halfway through, so it'd be fun to check in.
No. Muzzy's out there listening somewhere, if I had to guess, and he wishes we could do the MPDs every month.
Yeah, well, it was fun. We could do the guessing game because Moose wasn't here to have all of the information immediately
We
off
have
his
all
head.
the answers.
In fact, I was looking at a thread that Moose made on Reset Era with all this data. So this is courtesy of MPD, courtesy of Moose and Mill. But let's talk
We
about
didn't get anything wrong, because
Fucking nerd.
make us look dumb.
but I want to take a little bit to talk about some games that we've liked so far, right? They could be on this list. They could not have been things we mentioned so far. That have just been like 2019 in video games so far that we've been interested in because, like Brandon said, it is stacked. So I worry that some early games are going to get lost in this crowded second half, you know?
They're already lost. I already forgot all the games I played so far this year.
Well, I'll go first if you guys want to think about your things.
Sure, please.
So on there, worth mentioning, is another Capcom game. I played Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen on the Switch for the first time. That game period.
Dogma.
Yeah, the same guy, same Itsuno, the same director who did Devil May Cry 5, also did Dragon's Dogma.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it.
Yeah, it is a game that like you can see the jank super hard. You can see the places where they didn't put money, but there's plenty I think that I look at that I'm like, oh man, they were like trying this new weird thing like with the pawn system where you get a companion with you that you then send out that other people can bring into their games, and like if they do a quest with your pawn and he comes back, he'll know stuff about the quest when you do it. They'll gain stats, they'll do different things like that. I think is super cool. And I just had a really good time with it. Like it was obviously an old game that got re-released, but it was the type of game that not to complain, I feel like we lose a little bit of as games get higher and higher budget. I mean, Dragon's Dogma was actually extremely high budget for Capcom is the problem. While not selling super well. But like they got to be weird and ambitious in a way that I really like and appreciate looking back on it, right? Like this was them trying to make Skyrim, but because they're from Japan, they like kind of didn't get it. So you get this weird, strange game that there's sort of nothing like even now, and I enjoyed that.
Yeah, it has a pretty decent fighting combat system.
It feels good.
It feels good.
You can feel the guy who made Devil May Cry worked on.
Did
this.
you get to finish it?
I did, yeah. And I really I'm not going to mention things about the end game, but there's some really neat stuff with like post game in Dragon's Dogma. At least I thought it was interesting. Any of you guys play anything that you thought was cool?
I mean, of course. I've been playing. The podcast keeps us very busy, right? I've been playing a lot of games, playing like games that come out combined with Game Club games. And you guys know we have the New Year's resolution list of games that we're also playing. So like just constantly playing video games. I just can't stop.
Sure.
And I literally couldn't stop if I wanted to because I have a responsibility here. But you know, I think my favorite game I played so far this year was Psychonauts.
Oh.
But that's an old game, so I'm not going to talk about it.
Sure.
But this year, games so far games that came out this year. I think Resident Evil 2 is probably my favorite, but I also don't really want to talk about it in length because I feel like we've before. Like Noah's talked about it about something, you know.
And plus, it's a remake.
It's a remake too, you know. Fantastic though. Check it out if you haven't, if you're interested at all. But I want to give a shout out to and I know this is kind of cheating a little bit because technically it started being released in 2018. But a majority of it is coming out this year. So I want to just give a shout out to Life is Strange 2.
I knew it. I thought Brandon's gonna shout it out. I felt it in my heart.
Damn.
I've played the first 3 episodes so far,
Mm-hmm.
and I love it, man. I didn't think I could love Life is Strange 2. I didn't think I could love it again after how much I love
The first one.
Max and Chloe.
Yeah.
Because they're the best,
Mm-hmm.
and also Chloe's the best. If you let her die, I will block you on Twitter.
Oh no! What a threat!
But it's great, man. It's really good. You play as honestly, I hate to say it, I don't remember their names right now off the top of my head, but you play as a couple of brothers. One's he's 17 or 18,
Mm-hmm.
he's in high school, and his little brother, he's like 10 or 11. And like Life is Strange, somebody has, there's superpowers kind of going on in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And you find out your little brother has superpowers. Not to rewind time like Max did, but he has, he can make stuff float.
Mm-hmm.
Pick things up and levitate and move them around.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it's stuff hits the fan. I don't want to give any spoilers because I really want people to play it.
Yeah.
Shit hits the fan real fucking quick. And
It's wild.
It is wild. And you just feel for these two. Pretty much forced to run away from home and be on the run, and it's a really compelling story so far.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to see where it goes. So I highly recommend it if you're a fan of the first game.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a couple little connections. I wouldn't say you have to play the first one, but also the first one's incredible. So if you haven't, just play them both, honestly.
Sure.
Fucking Brandon plays the most visual novels of anybody I know.
It's not really a visual novel. It's more of an adventure game.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's. Well, I guess
It's a very slight distinction.
Yeah. Did you think of Telltale games as visual novels?
Yes.
I don't.
All right. Well, there's the dividing
They're
line.
adventure games, more point and click than anything.
All right. Ills, anything that you were interested in?
Wait, I want to find out what you think I'm going to pick.
Oh.
Since you knew what Brandon was going to pick.
I will look and see Ills playing things on Switch sometimes that I'm just like, what? Did you play Katana Zero?
Fucking Christ! How did you know?
I knew it. I felt it. I was like,
I'm so mad right now.
I'm paying attention.
Stop fucking stalking me, you
Well,
bitch.
He stalked me too, apparently, so it makes me feel any better.
You probably talked about
yeah,
that.
Katana Zero. Super fucking cool. Very, it's a lot like Hotline Miami, but 2D instead of top down, and it's really compelling. Like, the action is super good. The story is surprisingly strong. Man, it kind of hits you in the feels. And it gives you like a unreliable narrator type of storytelling. It's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
The story, I'd say the story is a little bit confusing, but it's still pretty fucking dope.
I know only about the therapist part in the game.
Yeah.
And that to me was like super interesting, right? And sort of like you said with Hotline Miami, it reminds me of like the telephone conversations in between the missions. Like,
Yeah.
there's that hyper violence in that moment to like sort of think, and like it makes those moments where you're like, killing 50 guys in like a minute or whatever. Stand out more.
It's powerful. I mean, I think it's one of the best indie games I've played this year.
Mm-hmm. I've heard several
games.
people just sing the praises of Katana Zero super hard, so I have it. I need to play it.
I haven't had it, but I did play the demo, and I liked it a lot. I played it at PAX. It was great.
Mm-hmm.
I also want to shout out Cadence of Hyrule. Really fucking good. And My Friend Pedro was another indie game. Really fucking good. Like, I just played it this month. It's good. I mean, I think the controls are really good, and the level design is pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, worth a play.
I'll do one more. And speaking of my time at Portia is very much a different thing than my time at Pedro, my friend Pedro. I'm a fan of farming games from one of the very first list segments with Stardew Valley that was known. And my time at Portia is less farming, more crafting, but is very much still in the image of Harvest Moon. You move to a village. It's not over the top. It's not like looking down on your character. It's a 3D. You have camera control. You're running around.
I don't want to interrupt you, but I just want to ask something real quick.
Sure.
Is it on Game Pass?
I don't think so, but it feels like it's prime territory for it.
I thought that I saw it on there.
Wait, how is it like My Friend Pedro?
They just have my as the first word. That was all.
Okay.
That was all.
Really confusing for a second.
The only connection.
But it's a game that's like also there's a lot more like combat than in a lot of these types of games. There's dungeons you go to.
It is on Game Pass, by the way.
Oh, it is on Game Pass. No reason to not play it then. And I had a lot of fun with it. Like it was I got it when it was in early access, and like I played a little bit of it. I was going to wait for it to come out officially. I did. I put like 60 hours in it because time, just those types of games eat hours away.
I don't understand how you have this much time in your life.
Yeah, neither do I.
I don't sleep a lot. I don't sleep a lot. But I'll pay for that when I'm like 40, not when I'm 24. And so until then, I'm going to play my time at Portia because I had fun with it.
It looks pretty neat, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm looking at some screenshots of it. It has an RPG element to it.
It does. There's like I said, there's a lot more like making things for people and sort of and giving it that way.
Like a Rune Factory kind of.
Oh, I would say it's more Rune Factory than it is Harvest Moon. That's a good point of comparison, but like with a third person like action sort of perspective with the camera, right? Like it's not Devil May Cry, but there is dodging and there is a little bit of Dark Cloud put in there. Sure, yeah, that's probably a good way to describe it. So that was real neat.
It takes a lot for me to try to play those farming type games. So I don't know if I'd ever get to it, but we'll see.
I love those kind of games, honestly, but I'm afraid of them too because of what Will just said.
Yeah.
You lose
hours.
Just get fucking exactly. You get sunk into that shit.
Yeah.
And I've done it on Harvest Moon many times in my life.
Yeah.
Fuck farming.
Fair.
Wow. The Farmers Association of America.
Fucking dox me. All right.
Hey, you know what?
Send them to my address.
If you are a farmer listening to this right now, please don't stop listening to the podcast. I support farmers.
Just fucking stop. Just go back to your goddamn farm.
Brandon, do you have anything you want to shout out?
Not off the top of my head. Psychonauts.
Okay, I mean we can say Psychonauts.
I don't really want to talk about it. Listen to the damn game club, but the game is fucking awesome. I know it didn't come out this year. The sequel's coming out next year.
You know what I learned? It's on if you get Discord Nitro, the one that gives you the like Game Pass equivalent. It's on there, baby. Yeah. Just pick it up.
It is. Oh, get it. Give it up. True. Listen to me. You won't be disappointed.
You won't.
If you are, you have shit taste.
Fair.
You must be a farmer.
Maybe. And then,
oh my god, Up Supercast against farmers.
That's
right.
I live across from farmers, so I'm gonna have to live in fear from now on. They're gonna come for me. But one final thing, I guess I do want to mention this because I want to sort of, I don't know if a PSA is the right word. So Grand Theft Auto, we mentioned already, online added casinos in their game this week.
Oh no!
Right.
Yes.
And in them, you can... I'm not sure on the specifics of how you transfer from real money to virtual game money into poker chips. But the thing is, this got a lot of reactions, right? Because it's very blatant and craven, Like, look, there's a casino, put your real money in to get the fake money from the fake casino, right?
I'm going to guess you could probably earn real money or fake money in the game already and you don't have to buy real money.
I was going to say, but I was going to say, I play Grand Theft Auto Online a fair amount. The amount, like you can only transfer $50,000 of in-game money into chips every in-game day, which is like every hour basically. And
wait, what?
So that shouldn't be that bad, I wouldn't think.
So $50,000 is like winning 2 races, basically. Like you just do activities, you get money, and so you could probably get $50,000 in the span of, if you're far enough in 10 or 20 minutes, right?
Okay.
So
not bad.
Yeah. So there's not actually a lot of incentive to spend real money in this to get to this casino, right? You'll probably have enough money to play anyways because they all
the
put a
options
cap
there.
on it.
And little kids are gonna be like, "Ooh, baby, where's the credit card at, homie?"
Well, the thing to me is that Grand Theft Auto Online has had this forever, right? There is the like $100 shark card that you can just spend.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
This isn't new with the casino. It's been there for years, and in some ways, it's more insidious. The things where it's not as blatant, And so I think that's always interesting to me. Like, there's a million games on iPhone that are like a slot machine.
Oh,
right.
Yeah, seriously though. Yeah, you're right.
And
I read that it got banned in 50 states.
Yeah.
Or not 50 states,
Damn,
50
all
countries.
50 countries.
50 countries, sorry. It got banned in 50 countries.
Yeah.
Which is like, what? Fucking what?
Yeah. And so
Ban iPhone games.
yeah.
God.
Well,
Ban games with microtransactions if you're gonna do this shit. Like, for real.
yeah.
And all games.
Yeah, get rid of them.
Ban off video games.
I'm for it.
Podcast is canceled.
I can finally
Yeah.
get my Thursdays back.
We're free. Saf gets his weekends. But until then, I do want to, until all video games are banned, like, I would say look towards like the things that aren't as blatantly bad, because that's where they'll get you, right? Like, there was a thread on Reset today that's like, hey, I just officially spent my $12,000 in Fire Emblem Heroes on my phone, and I think I'm gonna quit.
Nice.
And you're like,
Muzzy,
12,000?
I see you posting on there, Muzzy.
that was not Moose this time, right?
Oh my god.
But yeah,
$12,000.
yeah.
Woo.
And like that's
that dude balling.
well, you would hope he's balling, because otherwise he's endangering himself. But like that's the stuff that's like more worrying to me than the thing where like you can spend a maximum of $5 like a day in a video game. Like,
right.
That's the wild stuff, and that's the thing that's like, I mean, FIFA My Team, the UK decided this week is not gambling, right? But that is the thing that like I've spoken to people who do that My Team stuff, who do the NBA 2K My Team stuff, which is I think known as the worst of them, of the sports games. And he said
an ultimate team.
Yeah. And he said that like if NBA 2K, if you want to keep up with the like getting all the card packs that are there and like playing the My Career mode where you like make your character and level them up, it's like $300 like a month basically to keep up, right? Like like there are streamers that will just casually drop hundreds of dollars in card packs, right? And the idea is that they are making money back because people are watching their streams about NBA. But there's people that are doing
EA's
that.
over there fucking rolling in it.
Yeah,
they're just rubbing it all over them. And like, and the worst part is, because of this shit is happening, they have no incentive to stop.
Yeah,
Jesus.
And
Christ.
like, oh well, I'm making all this extra fucking money. Why stop?
I'm making hundreds of millions, right? Like that type of stuff. And
we're really living in dystopia.
It's
we are.
There's a lot of nightmare stuff going on, and like because no one in the games press plays like NBA like slavishly. It's very much like its own community of people. Like, this doesn't get talked about on even a site like Kotaku, which tries to do a lot of weirder articles, right? And so it just goes unchecked every year, and it just gets worse and worse. And like your viewers don't notice
talking about it. We're exposing the business.
We're doing it, brother. We're talking about it.
Fucking games journalists.
Oh boy,
my bad.
That's what we are. But yeah, so I don't know. That was just sort of like a thing that was in my head that I wanted to talk about with you guys.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's been a thing this week. I haven't seen. You're right. It's a good thing to bring it up because not a lot of news, but I have seen that floating around, the Grand Theft Auto Casino shit.
Yeah.
All you're doing is reaffirming my need to stay away from social media.
Fair.
And all news.
But you know what we can do to distract ourselves from the social media and the news? We can turn to the list.
The list!
Follow along in the pace bin below. We are continuing our ever-growing march of making the list bigger and bigger and even more unwieldy. We're at 120 games as of now. I'm stalling because I can't remember what the last game we added was.
999.
999. Saf brought it. Wanted it lower than it ended up getting, as Saf can sometimes do. Ended up at 38 out of 120, like we said.
That's a respectable spot right there.
Brandon's mad about it, I heard.
A little. No, I mean, I love the game. It's a little too respectable of a spot.
We don't respect it that much.
Yeah.
But the good news is that we are only five episodes away, five games away from the special re-rank, 125. So things might get moved around. Will it be 999? I mean, probably
it will be
not.
moved around.
But things will get wild, as always, on Rankomania. Re-rank. What are we calling it?
Oh, it's going to be
Ranker Slam. Yes.
What? It's in the
one of the big four.
This?
It's the Summer Slam of
It's
Rankomanias. We're going to so it's Ranker Slam.
Wait, so is it Rankomania 3 Ranker Slam or just Ranker Slam?
No, this is Ranker Slam.
And then there's Ranker Series, which is Survivor Series. And then there's the Ranking Rumble, which is the Royal Rumble. And then Rankomania, which is WrestleMania.
Okay.
Awesome. But until then, Ills, you are adding this week.
Great. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna go back to the old list like I always do. Plugging away. Taking a game and going straight to hell with it. We're picking Mario Pinball Land.
Mario Pinball Land!
Baby!
Okay. So we're going. You think we're going straight to hell with this one, huh?
We're going straight to fucking hell. This game is so fucking frustrating. Let me remind you, Brandon. This game was below trash it on the old list.
That's bullshit.
That's wrong.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Yeah, come on. We were wilding out back then.
We were not. This game,
This game is not worse than trash it,
It's
dude.
so
No
fucking
way.
frustrating.
Come on.
So this is, I've played Mario Pinball Land, so we have everyone that's played it. That's good.
Thank God.
And this was a SAF choice back in the day.
Saf back when he was on the game club, and he would literally pick a fucking Game Boy Advance game every single time.
Oh yeah.
So this game is, it's Mario as pinball.
Yeah.
In a nightmarish way. He gets turned into a perfect sphere.
Gets squished.
So does Peach.
Yeah. So does Toad. So does everybody in the Mushroom Kingdom. That was the story.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a carnival was going on. It's yeah. It doesn't matter. It's Mario game.
It's more story based than most pinball games are, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Which is just like, here's a board. Like, there's multiple boards in this game. But that also means that a lot of them are way more simple than most pinball boards are, right?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, because there's like multiple like branching paths in the map. You have to go like aim through one direction.
Which was kind of cool. There's like objectives on each screen. You get a star.
Yeah, but it was too fucking unwieldy to play. I mean, like,
it wasn't that.
It was bad. It was bad.
This game's like a 5 or a 6 out of 10. Like,
this game's like a 4 out of 10.
No, I don't agree with that.
Pinball games feel like they sort of live and die by their physics a little bit, right? And I will say, like, the physics are like they're more than a little funky, partially because the way that it's on the Game Boy Advance screen, and like, it doesn't have the aspect ratio to make that work, you know? Like, it's very square board, so it can be hard to judge momentum and, like, angles.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But I don't think it's, like, a disaster. I think it's, like, not great, but I don't think it's as worse than Trash It from the stuff I've seen of Trash It.
I mean, I think time has softened the edges for you guys, because when we rank this shit, this is the lowest ranked club game of the old list. It's so bad.
It's not worse than Trash It. It is not.
I mean, I've played both, and I don't know about that.
Nah, dude, I would rather play fucking Mario Pinball Land any day of my life.
I mean, alright, let's say it's not worse than Trash It. It still belongs in hell to me, I think.
Does it, though?
Yes.
I mean, like, I'm almost, like, willing to say, like, it...
Is it worse than Donkey Konga, is the question, right? Because that means that it's in hell.
I don't know if it's worse than Donkey Konga because I haven't played that, but
I almost feel like maybe it's
pretty bad.
The new Gatekeeper Hell, but I don't know.
I kind of agree, but I don't know.
Like, I don't think it's a hell game. I don't look at.
It's a hell game. It's a hell game.
I don't think it is.
God damn, you guys.
I don't look at this game and think of hell. I don't want to be in hell. I don't feel like I'm in hell.
You guys don't remember. You don't remember the struggle.
No, I remember.
You don't remember the struggle.
It's not that. It's okay. It's very mediocre. Sometimes it's frustrating because it's pinball, like pinball can be, but it's fine. It's not. Doesn't do anything like offensively bad.
I think that is where hell comes into play for me. Is like,
Knack apparently doesn't do anything offensively.
Well,
bad.
I mean, when I didn't think Knack should have been in hell anyways. That was like
we need to redeem Knack. I'm gonna go play right after this podcast.
God. Jesus, good luck with that.
that was Moose and Saf, and you know they feel themselves sometimes.
Damn.
Not like that, but kind of like
Shots
that.
fired.
But I don't know. So where would you want to put it, Brandon? Because there's 3 of us. So
I want to put it at number 111.
111. So that is above Donkey Konga then.
Yes.
I'm thinking about it. So Donkey Konga has. I didn't hate the bongos.
Okay.
But I do think that, like, much like how a pinball game lives and dies by its physics, a rhythm game lives and dies by its music, and like half of that game is nursery rhymes. You know?
Yeah, it's pretty shitty music selection.
Like, you get a couple of Nintendo songs, you get Kirby Right Back At Ya's theme, which is weird, and then like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
I mean, that's a classic.
It is a classic.
Yeah, fucking Willie Nelson on the Road Again was probably my favorite song. Saying something.
That and Rock Lobster. Yeah, I think I'd be willing to put it above Donkey Konga.
God fucking damn it, really? This game needs to burn.
I think I like the
it for
idea of like a pinball adventure game, right? Like even if it doesn't execute well.
I mean, that's what's selling you right now, the idea of it. But playing that game is fucking garbage. It's fucking garbage.
It's not just no.
It was. Oh man, that was a real struggle. I don't even think everybody beat that game in the club. I know Saf didn't beat it.
I think I got to the end once and then I failed and I never got back there.
Right? Yeah, I think I was the only one who finished it.
It was
because that game was garbage.
You had to do something stupid to get back to the end if you failed, which I did, and I was like, oh well, fuck this. But it's not like I'm not offended when I play it. It's not the worst thing I've ever played in my life, but it's not really that great, obviously. But yeah, dude, I wouldn't put it in hell.
Yeah.
I just want. All right, can we just put it above Paper Mario, like below Donkey Konga, right in hell, slide it right in.
Only if it becomes the new gatekeeper. Only if.
I mean, the gatekeeper on the other side.
Oh no.
No.
This is so dumb. All right, whatever. I don't care. This is taking too long.
I don't even think it's worse than Donkey Konga, so I would.
Yeah. I think I agree. I think I would put it right above Donkey Konga, but I would not put it above Incredible Crisis.
I wouldn't put it above Incredible Crisis either.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. All right. So I think we did
I
it.
fucking hate Incredible Crisis.
You hate everything.
No, I hate those games though.
There was a hot streak of Game Club games. The Ills was he was struggling.
I mean, it was fucking Will games.
It was Will games. That's what I.
God Hand and then
implying.
Incredible Crisis. That's
Yeah.
like,
Hey,
come on, fucking
say what you
blow my
want
brains
about
out.
Will games. Will has the most amount of times where he's had the highest rank.
I mean, he redeemed himself very recently.
Turn it around.
He hasn't made me want to kill myself anytime, the last couple weeks.
We'll see about how we feel about Katamari. But I think we did it. I think right below Donkey Konga. There it is. Mario Pinball Land.
Right above Donkey Kong.
You're right above it. Thank you for correcting me. Ills, you got done dirty, so you can get the final praise this week.
He's just gonna complain.
I mean, I'm fully aware.
Fucking blow me. How about that?
But while you think of all the different ways that we can blow you, let me mention that we forgot to do this. We are going to have the regular game club this Thursday, where we talk about We Love Katamari.
Ooh, another Will game. See if Ills hates that one too.
I kind of alluded to it, me not hating it already, but okay.
Yeah, well, we gotta keep a little bit of the suspense. But then also, we are going to have a special game club the week after, because we all have played Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, but not just us. Brandon, we are going to have a special guest on that episode, our first one.
Oh, yeah, we are. My friend Andrew from the Cosmic Airways podcast, he's going to join us because he played that game as well. And they love to talk about all things nerdy over there on the Cosmic Airwave podcast. Mm-hmm. So he obviously picked this game up. He's a big fan of comic books and stuff and played it. So I invited him. I said, hey, why don't you join us and we'll talk about Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. I almost always say Marvel vs. Capcom. I don't know why, but every time I'm talking about video games and it starts with Marvel, I almost always just automatically say versus Capcom.
Yeah.
Something wrong with my head.
But now we live in a world where Marvel Ultimate Alliance is kind of thriving and Marvel vs. Capcom is dead. What a weird world we live in.
What a world. But I'm excited for Andrew to join us, and A little bit of a spoiler alert. Had a decent amount of fun playing that game.
Sure. It'll be very interesting to talk about that game because there's a lot to like and there's a lot that just is sort of like charmingly janky is the way I would describe a lot of that video game.
And we get the whole. It's been a while since we've done a game club on a
recent
new
game
release.
Yeah,
since Octopath.
Full year basically because that was July. So
yeah, wow, it has been a year. And then people, we always argue over the fact that when we first play a game that we rank it too high.
Well, we'll try to keep our heads on straight.
Or too low in the case of Mario Tennis Aces.
Nope.
we
We fucked that one up.
Well,
No,
that game also
did it.
improved post-launch, so that's
You
I
guys
think
are just
important.
never mind.
What do you say? Wait a minute, I thought you were on Team Mario Aces was too low.
Oh, my bad. I thought you meant Mario Pinball Land.
No,
Just heard
no,
Mario.
Mario Tennis Aces.
When we first played Mario Tennis Aces, we ranked it wicked low.
I agree.
But we will see if we will make that same mistake again on that. If you want to make sure you don't miss that or Katamari or our weekly show that we do every Monday, make sure to subscribe on your podcast service of choice. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Ills is doing the great work of uploading on there as well. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Up Supercast, where Brandon will post things on the Instagram that he just does without us even noticing. So you're getting unadulterated, pure Brandon in that moment. And
I keep it PG. It could be a lot worse.
It could be a lot worse. But until then, we want to thank you all for listening, of course. And Ills, now your final phrase.
Jesus. I mean, I'm really not prepared for this. I mean, just get ready for the next game club because it's going to be my pick after that and it's going to be great. Fuck that.